talking about that. So maybe briefly, if you have any questions, we are going to pause at the end of this session and take them. So please note them down or put them in the chat. And we have Vincent monitoring it all. So then we will be able to address it. So what are we going to be covering here? Few things. I know that many are still on the desktop or have some internal requirements stopping them from moving to the cloud, etc. So we're going to talk about why we are investing so much in the cloud as a starting point. Then the second thing is to talk about what we are trying to achieve with the WindSim Accelerator, what our guiding principles are, if you like, in terms of the development, before discussing what have we actually made available in terms of big releases, but also in smaller recent development and fixes. Before the biggest portion, which is introducing the pre-processing functionality, which introduces 2 new modules to WindSim Accelerator. And we're also going to touch on what you can expect in the coming period afterwards. So,
full screen. Yeah.
So, Gullik, you want to talk about?
Yes. Why are we investing in the cloud? A reminder: the cloud brings advantages in accessibility. You can access the data everywhere. Scalability, if needed, it can scale up. Collaboration: different people can work on the same project. Automatic updates are more easily achieved. And you will also have your data backed up and have the possibility to recover it. Cost efficiency, when you do not need to invest in hardware. Flexibility and security, productivity, and competitive edge, that you're always on the latest version. Next slide.
So making use of that is important, and linking that to what benefits we actually want to bring to you as users. So the ambition is always to make sure that, sorry, I'm having some distractions here. The ambition is to make sure that the CFD functionality and the benefits from that is being made available as far as possible. Accuracy remains important, but we know that there have been issues in lengthy simulations, quite long workflows, but also sometimes difficult to use. So providing superior accuracy, quicker, high speed, and in an easier way, we feel are critical things, and this is where the cloud is enabling us to do this. Ultimately, those things that the cloud brings us will help you in terms of reaching your goals. So yeah, we want increased AP production, but it also needs to be realistic. Making use of CFD in the cloud makes sure that you can actually do CFD more often. You can do more granular projects as well. And this is going to help, obviously, increasing, but also making sure that the AAP results are realistic. Making sure that, as frequently as possible, but through correct turbine placement, OPEX is reduced. We know that CFD as well, due to this accuracy, help reducing CapEx. All of this leading to improved business cases and NPV payback time, as well as return on investment, reducing risk, and then hopefully higher bankability at the end of the day. And of course, not unimportantly, during all of this, increasing the user friendliness and productivity, and maybe even making it even more fun along the way.
Yes. So in April 2022, we launched Accelerator. And we have done various improvements to that. We made it possible to rerun single sectors in the launch in June 2022. In October, we made it possible to edit the projects and restarting simulations and so on. And in April 2023, we did some further things where we added a new solver, new top boundary condition, horizontal reduced wind database. And then the latest release was in November 2023. Here we added the live plot feature, expense management enhancement, credit calculation adjustment. We fixed some errors in our credits for display, improvements to description messaging, and then we did some improvements or zipping and merging processes. And the third quarter of 2024, we will launch the pre-processing modules. So what have we been doing recently? We have been working hard on the stability of the solution, since it is important that when you want to do your project, it must be dependable. You need to have it to run when you want it to run, to having some errors showing up that delays the project is not acceptable. So we have been working on various bugs that improve stability and adjusting our internal storage and compute, and done further improvements and simplifications for our zipping logic. We have also prepared our backend for pre-processing. So now the backend that is also running on the regular Accelerator also has a lot of the features that we need for the pre-processing parts. We have done a small quality of life change as well. So now the downloaded zip has the project name instead of project.zip. Yeah. So now we will introduce the pre-processing modules, Mappa modules, and they available from third quarter of 24.
Yes. So what's happening, and we will see it live here in a little bit, but illustrated here on the left. Top left, in the past, many people used WindSim, Express, and/or other platforms to prepare and convert data before moving into the desktop version with 6 different modules. So what is going to change, and what is new now from release 6 that is going to come in the next period, are that in addition to the existing WindFields module, we are introducing the map and the model modules as well. So that means that the WindSim Express functionality as well as the terrain module in the desktop, you don't need to use those anymore because all of this functionality will be substituted by new functionality inside of Accelerator. Post-processing for now remains the same, that you would then either continue doing that in the desktop version of WindSim or in another platform. Although, as we will see, post-processing is part of our roadmap as well, so we will come on to that. Also, just as a small reminder, any new user will have access to the needed desktop functionality without wind fields, so that you can do post-processing, or if there's other functionality in the terrain module, for example, that you would like to access anyway. So everybody will still have access to that on request.
So, the map module. Here we are sourcing global elevations of global elevation and roughness data from the ArcGIS platform provided by Esri. And using the same source of data for everyone leads to a few advantages. Everyone's project will look the same. There is less room for errors. So if two different persons are doing the same project, you will be based, or the project will look more similar and more standardized. We will also eliminate the need for WindSim Express and other tools that are used to source map data at the moment. So this leads to simplification and time savings for the end user. Yeah. So our data we get through ArcGIS from Esri. Our global elevation is based on the World Elevation Terrain Service that is given in that link that you will receive later. And we have two different land cover data. That is for Europe, we have a special data set, the Corine 2018 data set. And for global coverage, we are using the Sentinel-2. That's a 10-meter resolution land cover map.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna let you know that we have some issues with Tore and his permissions to become a presenter. So we are working on it right now.
So
maybe you can.
I can share from my screen.
Yeah, but I don't think he can use any microphones or anything because his role won't change.
Okay. So then I suggest we come back to Tore a little bit later on.
Yeah. After our in the pre-processing, that consists of the map and the model. And model is the new version of the desktop terrain that takes your map and your elevation map and your roughness map and makes the 3D discretization of the domain according to that. In the model, we have also included visualizations, the same thinking as in the WindSim desktop. We have different terrain features as well as the representation of the 3D grid. Maybe we can show a little. So we was thinking that we should show you a little bit of how the current version of the pre-processing looks. Can you promote me to presenter?
Yes, Gullik, you're spotlighted and you should be able to share.
Yeah.
It could be that Lill needs to shut down her sharing because she's co-organizer, but you can try. Yeah, okay.
So, yes. Here you see I've cheated a little bit and made a pre-made map. Here you see I have selected the typical demo case for WindSim, the Windhammer Mountain. And yeah, and you can scroll around a bit. You can search if you want to search after areas. So, so here we have our mountains. Let's say that I know where I have my turbines. Then we have some features. This is the box selector. And if I have points of interest, I can use my markers instead. So here I can, for example, add a couple of points. And you will see they will appear here. And the refinement area will expand around those. And if you want to remove a turbine, for example, you can right-click on it and place a new one. And so our refinement area here, let's say the left side of it is a bit badly aligned. Then we have the possibility to change a bit of how large our refinement area is. For example, this I want it to be 4,000 meters instead. So you can adjust your refinement area as you want as well. And our next part here is the roughness values. So if you turn on the roughness for Europe, this is the Corine 2018 dataset. And here you see this green color or the dark green color. And you can right-click dark green color, for example. And then you see that, oh, this is the coniferous forest. And this has a roughness value of 1.2. And let's say I want this to be 1.9 instead, since I know a lot of or I have my own values for Scandinavian coniferous forest. And then you can extract, and then when you are happy with your editing here, you can extract terrain as well. I should also show them, and here we also have the global roughness as well, so you can see that. So, and to extract the terrain, you push the extract terrain button here. And here we have our model. I have a pre-run the project here, but this is how the model looks. You can select, you have some options to set the maximum number of cells, height distribution. Yeah, and when you are happy with that, you select the create 3D model. And then we have the visualizations on the right here. Here you see the elevation, the roughness for the area. And we have the data layers in the top bottom corner or top right corner. Here we have this is a 1 million cell project, and here you have the XY set, and you have this expanded thing here where you can see here the smallest cells are 36 meters in X direction and 36 in Y direction. And you have the same for a grid, grid in the vertical direction, and you can also see the extent here to see how large are my cells. And we have the open area. That should be familiar to you from the WindSim desktop. So in addition, we can mention that we have this, since the map created the grid.gbs file, and if you want to look at that and tinker with that, that is also available in the files module here. So here you see, so for example, here you can download the grid.gbs file. Yeah. So I think that is, so I hope the pre-processing modules looks easily used and looks to be an improvement from your current workflow. And you can transfer back sharing now.
Yes. So I think Tore can use his camera and his microphone, but we're unable to make him a presenter. So I'm not sure why, but if you share the presentation. So now we can see Tore here. So that's good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. So Lill, I think you need to share my presentation from your side, and I'll probably need to skip some of the demonstrations, but at least I'll talk you through some of the demonstrations and tell you where you can locate those afterwards. I also saw there was a couple of questions in the chat regarding resolutions, so we'll cover that as well. So my name is Tore Hustoft. I work as a technical advisor in geodata. I'm sorry, Lill, did you want to do a quick presentation about me, or should I just keep going?
Now, please introduce yourself. Welcome very much. I hope you can see the presentation here now when I turn it on as well.
Can I please just request Tore to try and share now, because now it suddenly works to make you after you start. Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah. So give it a shot, please.
All right. I think we're good.
Yeah. And remember to put it in the presenter mode, so we don't, because we can see the next slides. And thank you.
Good. Okay. So again, my name is Tore Hustoft. I work as a technical advisor, and I'll quickly talk you through